Let's go ahead and check in with Opera Tampa, shall we? If you remember a few months ago, they were able to take their performances outside to the beautiful Riverwalk in downtown Tampa. And they've got another performance that's coming up, and they are excited to talk about it. We're talking about Troubador's Tale, and Robin Stamper is back with us. Robin, how are you? Good morning.
Good, Natalie. Thank you. How are you?
I am well. I love talking about this because, we kept hearing the words pivot during the pandemic. And now that, the light at the end of the tunnel is there, you're still hearing some positive things of the outdoor performances. And so that is still happening with Opera Tampa. Explain what you were able to do during this time and how audiences are loving it.
Well, we have this beautiful stage out on the Riverwalk, and this will actually be our fifth performance there. We have tables set up. There's a bar, place to get food. And incidentally, for this weekend, the weather's going to be amazing. So, which is great for the audience and great for the performers as well, because, they're in these heavy costumes. And so they're grateful for the terrific weather that's going to be out there. This particular show is different from the four prior ones because we've actually taken a full-scale opera called Il Trovatore by Verdi, which was meant to be in a big opera house. And the reason why we're not calling it that is because we certainly don't want people's expectations that they're going to get a full-scale, 2.5, 3-hour opera. It's only about 65 minutes long, and we give them the musical highlights and piece it together with some narration.
I always love talking, and I'm so glad you broke down the musical, the play in that way, the opera in that way, because I feel like so many people who are new to opera, maybe they feel like, oh, I don't know if I want to step into an opera house for like those 3-hour performances. Why is this a good way to perhaps experience your first opera, yet people who have been fans of opera for years love it as well?
Well, the people who've been experiencing opera for years, I think, are grateful to be able to hear these terrific singers in any circumstance. And for the people who've never been to an opera before, like I say, we give them the highlights. So you kind of plant a little seed in there and give them the best of, and it's like, oh, wow, this is pretty cool. And, one of the amazing things about doing this on the Riverwalk is while we're doing the rehearsals, just last night at our dress rehearsal, we would have passersby actually stop and stand and watch. We probably had at one point an audience of maybe 40 people standing outside on the Riverwalk and for the big ending. So it was a pleasant surprise for all of us. So if people strolling by on the Riverwalk are going to give that kind of reception, then you know that you can get people hooked.
Yes, I'm sure you can. And from a performance standpoint, a performer's standpoint, they've got to be like, I'm getting applause while I'm just, warming up or just practicing. What do the performers say? What's the feedback that you're hearing from your singers?
Well, exactly that. Sometimes, a boat will pass by and they're playing, rock music or whatever. You just kind of go with the flow. But for the most part, that really hasn't been happening that much. So a good performer is always going to be inspired by a great response, and so it's been very encouraging to them.
So let's talk challenges for the singers, or how is this specifically going to change maybe the way they get ready for a performance? Because I'm assuming you get kind of used to like singing inside the Straz, for instance, and then having to change outdoor. That's got to be different vocally, perhaps. Am I wrong?
Well, yeah, it is. Well, first of all, there's the whole issue of safety. So, in opera, there's a lot of hugging and kissing and touching and fighting. And, so we have to find very clever ways to deal with that during this whole pandemic. Second of all, they have to wear face shields. And so while they're singing, now they are mic'd. They are mic'd, which is also unusual. Opera singers are trained to be able to sing in a very large hall without any kind of amplification. So that's different. And when they sing with those masks on, their voices are coming back to them because, the idea is when they're trained is to project their voices that way. So the mics are necessary, but it is certainly a new sensation for the singers.
Well, and I'm assuming, though, at the end of the day, everyone is just glad to have performances happening again. I am sure the opera singers are just happy to be singing again.
Absolutely. That's the first thing that they were all saying on that very first day of rehearsals. We rehearsed actually indoors. And we actually had our rehearsals in the Ferguson Hall. And, of course, they're enjoying the luxury of this beautiful hall and hearing their voices, go out, even wearing the face masks.
Right, right.
But the very first day, we're just so happy to sing again, and to be in the process. Yeah.
Well, Robin, we are so happy that you are back with us again. Let's go ahead, share the information. Strazcenter.org, is that the best place to go for tickets?
That's correct. Strazcenter.org. And there are 2 performances each of Friday, Saturday, and Sunday.
Good stuff. Thanks again for being with us.